Everybody could join me in saluting the flag of our great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just a moment of silence to remain standing for our troops, their families, and all our first responders. Thank you. The only thing that I have on the workshop is that sees we have a first reading on rescinding the ordinance for eminent domain that we put in place after we got the petition. You know, we had discussed it and said, you know what, let's continue to negotiate without it. So we got first reading on it for tonight, but we'll continue to negotiate without using the eminent domain. Anybody else got anything? I mean, that's really the only thing I have on the workshop tonight. All right, we'll move on. April, on the petitions.
I received a petition for a request for stop signs at the intersections of 9th Avenue and C Street and 10th Avenue and C Street. That has been circulated to all of you, and then also just to note that I had provided to the council the certification of the referendum petition in protest of ordinance 2021-17, which you just addressed, is on for repeal tonight.
Thank you. Approval of minutes.
Could I have a motion to approve the August 3rd, 2021 minutes?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
So April, I wasn't at that meeting, so I need to abstain. Does that mean you're not opposed to pass it?
The majority of the quorum of the board, so quorum of the council, so yeah, we would have enough to, yeah, we have, which especially enough.
Abstain.
Okay, reports of council. Councilmember Bracken.
Not much to report on the lazy, hazy days of August. I've been trying to, like many other people in our town who I've seen out and about, enjoy our beautiful community. We will have the Shade Tree Commission this month is canceled. The next meeting will be the third week of September. And the next scheduled Housing Authority meeting is the first Monday of the month, but that's Labor Day this year, so I have to verify with them exactly when the next meeting is, if they're moving it to the next day or having it on a holiday. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Harbor Commission meeting canceled, lack of quorum. Environmental Commission meeting canceled, lack of quorum. August is when everybody goes away. So the only thing I really have to shout, I have to give a big shout out to our Recreation Director, Barry Trobe, as many of you might know. My friends in my band and I were playing Friday night in the Plaza, and the power was out for a little while. It was oh so exciting. And Barry was right there from the get-go and made sure everything was going to work smoothly, and then the power came on, and we all had a great time. So, thanks, Barry. That's my report.
All right, thank you. The only thing I have is our fireworks are being moved to Labor Day, September 3rd, on a Friday night, with the rain date of Saturday, and hopefully we get them shot off. It's not been a great summer. But, so we're moving up to there. The 5-mile run is set for September 4th, and the kids' run is before the fireworks on that Friday night, September 3rd. I know I've been talking about volunteers for the 2022 150th anniversary, and I know there's been some talk that Mary Grabson has been having meetings, but it's not with the volunteers yet. She's been meeting with all the department heads and getting everything all set up before the volunteers start. Once she has all that in place, then she'll be reaching out to get a list of volunteers. But the library is going to do so much, the Historical Society is going to do so much, Belmar is going to do so much. So once she has all that in place with everything going on, then she's volunteers to work with all the different groups. So whoever needs them, they'll have a list of volunteers to put out. They need 5 or 10 people or whatever they're doing to run these events that they're going to do throughout the year. So she's working on that. Anybody that wants to be a volunteer, just hold tight. She'll be putting it out to get everybody's information and who wants to volunteer for next year. So I know there was a couple of questions that came to me about that, so I just wanted to explain that. Other than that, we're coming into the end of the summer, and everything went pretty well. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, George Comedians was yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
We had one of our gate attendants who was a floater, fell to the ground in a medical emergency. George was right there to start CPR. First aid showed up right away, and I'm happy to say that he made it to the hospital and he's doing fine. So thanks to George for being right there and starting CPR, and he did a great job, and I just wanted to mention that. I think that's all I have. So we'll move on to public session on any of the resolution items. Okay, April, stay on.
Can I have a motion to close the public session?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Next is second reading and public hearing on ordinance 2021-27. This is amending the no-knock ordinance. It's open for public comment. If anyone would like to speak on it. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-27.
I'll make the motion. I just got a question. Do we have the dates changed for that? I know it was, for the times, I mean,
Yes.
not the dates, times.
Fine, yep.
Times are all changed in there? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yep, very good.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Next is first reading and introduction on ordinance 2021-28, amending Chapter 19 traffic, adding additional stop intersections. We have a motion to offer for first reading.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
And last is ordinance 2021-29, an ordinance to repeal ordinance 2021-17. Can I have a motion to offer for first reading and introduction?
Make a motion.
A second?
Second.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Mayor Walsifer?
Yes. All right, public session. Yes, Bruce.
Thanks, Mayor. Public session on anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 407 9th Avenue, Bruce Blattner. Just a reminder that we're having a concert this Thursday. Really good band. Super band. Tommy B and the Deep Blue Sea at the
See what Fred
library.
has to say about
So hot dogs, water, chips being done, so and just let everybody know.
And what's the rain date?
I'm not sure.
The 26th.
Okay, thank you.
Because I think Fred's coming.
Thank you very much. And one of those quick thing, Captain, I'm just gonna mention about that PBA food drive, is that all right? Yep. Thank you. The food drive that we've been doing on Monday evenings, I've been volunteering. It's through the PBA and a grant from the state of New Jersey. I'm not a member of the PBA or anything, but I just volunteer time. And the food drive is 2 more Monday nights. For anybody who knows of any people in need, please come out, because there's always a lot of food, and they give out milk and all kinds of food at 6:30 to 8:30. Just a reminder, next Monday, I believe the 23rd and 30th, and that's just 2 more Monday evenings, just for your information.
All right, thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
Gerald Ducaflesko, 409 Fifth Avenue. Just a question, I think many people are probably asking themselves right now concerning 2021-29. Assuming that is passed in the next meeting, can somebody give us an idea of, number one, what effect this would have on future purchase of the First Aid Squad property, and what effect it would have on the town's right to take the property through eminent domain? And finally, what relevance does this have with regard to the referendum petition?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm gonna go in just reverse order, just because the referendum's the easiest one to answer. So when a referendum is validly certified by the borough clerk, which was done earlier this evening, how it proceeds under the applicable statutes is it would go to the ballot to be voted upon. However, when something is certified as a valid referendum petition, the ordinance itself is suspended up until it's either A, repealed, or B, voted upon at the ballot. So rather than waiting up until the point it is voted upon at the ballot, the Borough Council took action tonight to repeal it in its entirety pursuant to the applicable provisions underneath the referendum statute, which I believe is section 183 to 189 of 63A under 48:63-183-ish. So then second, the effect of
Just a question, so that means the referendum will or will not go forward?
the referendum will not go forward on the effect of whether ordinance 2021-17 should be repealed or left alone, because it's in the process of being repealed. That was the purpose of introducing it on first reading. Second question you posed was the effect of eminent domain moving forward, and whether or not the borough would be permitted to pursue any additional eminent domain actions should the need or the opportunity arise. And the short answer is yes. In the event the borough does elect that they want to proceed through eminent domain, there's no statutory bar on taking that course of action. Whether the borough does or does not, I don't know. That's not in the plans right now. The plans was they saw the petition and they want to try to negotiate without that hanging over the borough First Aid Squad. Second or third is the effect on future purchases. That's a hard one to answer because I don't know what the effect of it would be on future purchases, because there's always the fear once an eminent domain action is instituted or initiated that there is going to be a subsequent eminent domain proceeding. One of the things that when you are going out and you are bidding for properties, you do have to indicate whether or not this property is subject to any future or potential eminent domain proceedings, given the fact that when it's already been initiated, it is possible that you would have to certify that, yes, it is possible that this property could be subject to eminent domain. Could that possibly deter future bidders? Certainly. Could it not? As well, also, you don't know what you don't know at this point.
My question, though, you answered part of it. I think I was more determined to find out what would happen if the town wanted to purchase it again. Would they need to pass another ordinance similar to 2021-17?
No. So 2021-17 was for purposes of implementing eminent domain. At this point, the town can negotiate with the Belmar First Aid Squad to see if we can come to a reasonable agreement, and to be able to enter into a purchase agreement, at which time the borough would have to just adopt another ordinance authorizing the acquisition through normal, basically like buying a house at that point.
Right. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Maria Rondanaro, 1246 Pine Tree Way. I just wanted to also thank Barry for a wonderful job with Belmar Summer Camp. My daughter thoroughly enjoyed it, and so did the other campers, so thank you. I wanted to make mention, I know this isn't the first time, but according to Commissioner Director Arnone, between August 12th to August 16th, there's been 590 new positive cases of COVID-19 in Monmouth County. I would request that we please resume an option for Zoom. And I am wondering what safety protocols and communications we're looking into to prepare for this next wave, which is sadly upon us already.
This is Administrator Kirschenbaum. You've been keeping up on all that.
Yes, we have. Our whole team is continuing to monitor what the guidelines are from the state of New Jersey, from the governor's office. Any orders that are, executive orders that are put out will follow. We've been in touch with our department as we sent out the procedures for the CDC in regards to any type of exposure or what they should do in regards to anybody catching COVID. So we maintain with our department heads and communication with the state and the health department to make sure that we're in compliance with everything.
Okay, I mean, that's wonderful to keep abreast of what is coming from the state, but what about what we can do as a town? What kind of communication can we put up as a town? You know, last year I was asking for extra signs for our businesses, for more communication through Code Red, for more options for vaccination sites. I know that this is not something we've, dealt with before, but now we can actually say that we've dealt with this before.
Well, we had vaccines at our last farmers market. We had that out there. And we had a conference call, myself and the mayor had a conference call with the governor's office in regards to getting more vaccines available to the seashore front towns with a lot of people visiting. So we're in the process of working on more vaccines.
More testing, correct?
What's that?
They talked about starting up more testing sites also.
That's correct.
In our towns.
So we need more testing.
That would be good. And as far as mask mandates or any pushing of social distancing and wearing masks, is that something that we can be aggressive about this year?
Well, you have to be aggressive, but it's all based on executive order. You can't force people to do something that's not ordered to do so. So you're starting more problems if you try to enforce something that's not executive order. So we're trying to follow the guidelines put out by the state of New Jersey so we don't have confrontations. People still have rights, and if we follow the executive orders like we have in the past and maintain control that way, that's the proper way to flow through.
Okay, I know that we can't, you certainly can't ticket someone who's not doing something legal or mandated, but it would be wonderful if we can encourage, very, very strongly encourage and have our messaging in Belmar be one of absolute safety, because now our kids are dying, and that's what's happening. That's the reality. So please, they don't have a choice whether they're going to get the vaccine or not. It's not their personal decision. It's about us protecting them. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Can I have a motion to close the public session and adjourn the meeting?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you, everyone.